Hey guys, it's me, Julian Greystoke. Hopefully my camera's not gonna have too much focus trouble because I was trying to focus on my lights a few minutes ago and I think I made it stop doing that, but I don't know, it might keep doing that. Jane is here already, so we're off to a great start. Also, I'm wearing this shirt that's one of my designs from Redbubble, so if you're interested in checking out any of my awesome designs on Redbubble, links in the doobly-doo. I've got a ton of stuff, and some of it's even writer and bookish related. I'm gonna pick apart a book that a lot of people love, and that I was totally ready to love, and that book is obviously Every Heart a Doorway. It was on my radar for a really long time, and it took forever to read it for two reasons. One, I was low-key jealous because somebody thought of this idea before I did, and it's a really good idea for a book. And two, because I kept hearing about it, and anytime people hype a book like crazy, it always makes me super nervous that it's not as great as everybody says it is. So something I noticed about this book overall, this is just a wild theory, this reads like an English major wrote a paper about portal world stories and then decided that that would make a great fiction narrative. Are you focusing, camera, or are you completely out of focus? I can't figure it out. When it's too far away from me, I can't tell if it's focusing or not. So hopefully now that I've moved it closer, we'll be good. The camera wants to look at them and not me. Let's be honest, the lights are prettier than me. Back to Every Heart a Doorway. Unfortunately, this book really disappointed me. It is a novella, so it is shorter, and I know that because of that, we're gonna be minus some details, and honestly, I really wish that the author had just put in the extra work to make this like a full-length book. Nigel is here. But because it is, and we are missing so many details, pretty much everything in this book feels really bland and kind of uninteresting to me, except for the other worlds that we hear about through these characters. And maybe, I'll give the author the benefit of the doubt, maybe that was intentional. Maybe because these characters are so attached to these worlds, we the readers are supposed to understand that literally nothing else is important except for these worlds. But to me that was a little disappointing, even if that was the point, because I like fleshed out characters and a good storyline and world building in the world that we're actually in right now. Along that line, the school itself was really disappointing. We've all read a lot of books that take place in schools. Harry Potter and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and thousands more. Percy Jackson, which isn't a school, it's a camp, but it's the same thing. And all of these places have been fleshed out. These places almost have a personality of their own to go along with the characters and their abilities. And this school where these children go is just, there's nothing to it. We get nothing. It's like the barest descriptions possible. And again, maybe that's intentional, but I didn't really like it. I would have liked to picture the world that I was in rather than just hear about these other worlds that I don't even get to see. Alright, we're just gonna hit it. Anyone who's not new to my channel knows that I'm asexual. I'm very open about it. Whatever. And so everyone was like, there's an asexual character in this book. The main character is asexual. Oh my gosh, Julian. Wow, yeah, she is asexual. Her aceness is not done badly, but the scene and the conversation where you find out she's asexual is literally the cringiest thing I have read in a very long time. That was some of the most badly done dialogue ever. It felt like the two characters were like, and now we're going to exposit about our sexualities, audience. I hope that's okay. It's not going to sound like how people talk. And I know that one of these characters is supposed to kind of not talk how people talk, but it's still, even for her and what we've gotten from her so far, was so out of nowhere and just felt like such obvious exposition that I was just like, no, I can't get behind it. This is terrible. This book had decent writing throughout, just mechanically, but like this was atrocious. So at one point in this story, the characters are in class and one of them brings up the line, "The Witch in the Wardrobe," which gets immediately shot down by one of the other students, and the teacher then sides with that student. And that hurt me. It really felt like the author like coming in hand to God, I don't like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe because it's a Christian allegory, and so I'm going to shit all over that one. They didn't shit all over Alice in Wonderland. They didn't shit all over The Wizard of Oz. It was just The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Because it would have been really great if all of those Portal stories that we grew up reading turned out to be real. What if we read this book and the book was like, yep, Dorothy went to Oz. Yep, Lucy and her siblings went to Narnia multiple times. Why? Why did we miss this great opportunity? And also shit all over one of my favorite books growing up. This book has moments of very frustratingness peppered throughout. I was very confused when the magic from these portal worlds began to actually work in our world. I didn't know that was a thing until like most of the way through the book. Why is that? Why does magic from the portal worlds now work in our world? Why do abilities that you have in these other worlds come back to ours? This just came out of nowhere and I didn't understand the rules. I'm not personally a huge fan of the third-person omniscient narration style. It's just not something that I like. That is where your point of view jumps from character to character as the scene requires, and the main character, who we sort of follow through most of the book, is really bland and really uninteresting. It's unfortunate that it's also the asexual character. She is a very passive hero, and she came from a portal world, which is interesting sounding, but the focus of it was her having to be very still and very passive. And as a hero and a main character for the reader to follow, she's really sort of unengaging. Plus, it very low-key, and this is just a little thing that, you know, probably non-ace people wouldn't even notice, but it very, very low-key continues the stereotype that asexual people are emotionless robots. Not all of us are robots. I am a plant, for example. That's why I have to film at night sometimes. Sometimes I just have to spend the whole day photosynthesizing. So overall, I was not terribly impressed with this book, but again, it was super hyped for me, so that might have had something to do with it. I was a little disappointed in the ace rep. I will, however, keep reading this series because it looks to go interesting places in the next books. But this book, however, read like a beta version of a story a critique partner might give me to read, and which I would send back saying, this is a really great story. I can't wait until you flesh it out and we get the full version. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Did you read Every Heart a Doorway and love it like everyone else did? Comment below and let me know. Hey, what are some of your favorite Portal fantasy books? Don't forget, everyone, that I post new videos here Mondays and Fridays. All the links to my social media are in the doobly-doo, so go check those out. And hey, I have a novella as well. It's called Phoenix. You can buy it on Amazon. It's very different from this, so I can't compare them. I will see you guys again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! What's up, everybody? It is shout out time. Time to shout out to my very first patron, Kim, over on Patreon. And if you want to be cool like Kim, become a patron over on Patreon.